All right, all right. Hello, hello. Welcome everyone back to a fantastic Florida diversity and inclusive division or edition of the Happy Hour Show. So we hope to be very diverse in our panel here. It will only get more diverse as the show goes on, and we'll be equally inclusive to whomever would like to join, whomever would like to watch. So, with that being said, we may have a couple guests quite likely come in here in a bit. But Hexy Bastard, been a minute since you've been on the show. How you doing, man?
Good morning. I'm pretty okay. I'm pretty okay. Things are going well. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, things are good, man. Thanks for having me on again, as per. But yeah, I've just been busy promoting the fuck out of this thing here. So yeah, it's going well though. It's going well, man.
Good. And Mr. Hilarski, it's been a minute since Hexy Bastard's been on. It's been maybe an hour since you've been on. So welcome back, man. How are things with you?
Things are going great. I haven't been doing happy hour just because my son has soccer practices on Fridays, but he hurt his foot. He cut his foot open the other day, so no practice for him today. So it worked out perfect. I've been also focused on 9-inch. I don't care what people think about 9-inch. I think we need as many exchanges as possible or dexes on PulseChain, and why not have a competitive dex? And for some reason, I ended up being I'm going to be either highest shark or a small whale in 9-inch. So I'm looking forward to being there.
You're too humble, man. You've killed it. Your referrals is just like insane, like 550 odd referrals or something mad. Like you, sir, have absolutely killed it.
So I'm gonna help. I'm gonna promote. Now I feel like I created myself a job as a 9-inch guy. So just like I did with Hex. So here I am.
And evidently, the studio that I am in says that I am turtle status for 9-inch, but I got a second. So yeah,
cool.
And Mr.
Well played, sir.
Big Kirkowski, how are you doing there? I see we were waiting on the final prop. So do we have the final prop? Yes.
Yes, we do.
First of all, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Looks like it. And what are we drinking this evening?
Today is it's a Cabernet like usual, but today instead of a Napa Cab, it's from Paso Robles, which is also a great area, but I find that their stuff is not as velvety, a little bit more peppery. So, a little extra spice in the red. So,
All right. Well, with that being said, this is a orange fireball.
Fantastic vintage, sir.
Smells of cinnamon. Yeah, hints of that in there, and some whiskey.
Cinnamon and plastic.
But
I'm getting shivers just looking at that bottle, mate. Like
it is a double too, by the way. So, well, cheers to everyone out there. Let's start this happy hour off. Yes, Mr. Quotes fireball it is, and cheers everybody. Let's get this thing started.
Yes.
Here's my water.
There's my water as well.
Yeah,
I'm on the water.
Well, you're preparing for a night out, so.
Oh, bro, I had a night out last night, and it was bad. Like I had the worst hangover I think I've ever had today. Yeah, didn't get home until like 8 a.m. Like everywhere shuts at 3. I don't even know what we were doing, man. It's because Moomin Man's down. He's a bad influence on me, I tell you.
Yeah, Moon Mang is an awesome gent. If you guys ever get a chance to meet him, he lives up there in Scotland.
He's Scottish.
He's quite a gentleman.
Glasgow.
Got to hang out with him twice. So he was quite a gentleman.
The Scots. PulseX, does it taste like Penny's Cabana? No, but I did. Has anybody out here heard this? And then I don't think I've done this, but I have heard, perhaps from other people who have been in this situation. Is it true that if you do get pulled over by someone of the law, and if you go to take a breathalyzer, you can suck on a penny, and at least the breath, the scent of the breath is taken away when you're speaking to said man of the law? Heard of that? Don't know if it's a wives' tale or not.
I've heard this, but I don't understand how that could.
I don't understand it either. But
that's with the copper.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just heard it before, so it just made me think of that with Paul's comment there. So
Life hacks with Cabana.
That's why people come here. That's the alpha, right?
Yeah.
What's going on? Mr. DJ Cryptomatic, I see, has rated over. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Twitch. It says in my StreamYard title invalid, which I have no idea why. I'll try to maybe like knock it down a few characters, maybe. I don't know what that is, but I mean, we're fine on the YouTubes and everything like that. What's up, Existentialist, Mango Junkie, D Tucker, what's going on? KD, what's up? Freddie quotes, one of this is the truth, one of this is a lie. The truth is, I did go to lunch with him. No, I was not stumbling out. We only had a few beers, but it was great having lunch with him and Mrs. Quotes. What's up, the beach whale? Yes, DJ Cryptomatic, I see a Hexkin Hero, what's going on? Dan Smith, Frankie, what's up? Jonathan Capella, what's going on? Everybody is coming to the chat. Yes, Freddie, we saw the fireball earlier. KD, what's up? What's up? What's up?
I just surveyed the internet, and it says that the penny does not work in your mouth. Does not.
Okay. Well,
it's not how the breathalyzer machine works.
I don't know. I don't know where those pennies have been. I don't really want to put them in my mouth.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm happy to say, I haven't had to do that. So yeah, read it somewhere.
What I've read, the things you're gonna have false things that make false positives, which really doesn't help your situation. So, I can't. Inconclusive. No, I don't have any answers for anybody. So, penny does not work though.
Well, if you have tips, put them in the chat because people come here for that alpha.
Yeah, give us your truck driving alpha.
Oh, man.
The most oxymoron thing ever, probably. So yeah, we're gonna have also Buck and Dylan on there finishing up a Spaces on Twitter, so I'm sure we'll get a bump when that comes on. But while we're here, Hexy B, man. So you've been doing a little thing. I would call it, you might be humble and say mildly successful. You might not be humble and say, I am absolutely shocked at how successful this sacrifice is.
But I'm gone. Shocked. I knew it was going to do well, but it ends tomorrow, and I think we're on about 15 million, which technically I think makes us the second largest sacrifice that wasn't a Richard Hart product. I think I might be wrong about that, but I know Liquid Loans is top, and then I think it was Power City that was second, and we just overtook them today. Yeah. So yeah,
and Liquid Loans was still in the bowl. So
yeah, that's another thing as well. Obviously that came out when I think Hex was at 30 cents or maybe a little lower, maybe, but I know Pulse just came out, and actually the majority of the sacrifice that's came in has been PulseChain related stuff, Pulse, PulseX, but even just the stable coins that have come in, most of it's come in on PulseChain. It's just crazy. I think that might have helped us actually because everyone feels rich again, right? Because all that money that they put into PulseChain 2 years ago, they've got it now. So they're oh yeah, I can't wait to spend it. But honestly, you really ought to be holding it. But I'll gladly take it off your hands if you don't want it.
Well, congrats to you. And I know or actually I don't know because, we like to be anonymous in here, but someone, has already, said some things that might lead me to believe that Mr. Hilarski, you may have a little enjoyment or be taking a little enjoyment out of this wonderful 9-inch set.
Yeah, my good friend, I can't say his name. He was a Hex Shark. He was number 25. I think he was number 25 Hex Shark, and he did quite a bit into Pulse and PulseX, and he now has 10% of all of the staking pools on version 1. So he earns INC every day. At one point, he was doing about $300,000 a day. So when 9-inch came out, he says, Randy, do you think I can replicate this over on 9-inch? I'm like, well, I think you might be able to do even better. So because we're going to be on Ethereum and PulseChain with 9-inch. So he's like, you know what? I'm going big on this. I'm like, all right. And there he went. He just slapped it down on the table. He said, I'm here, boys. And he said, no one's going to beat me. Don't even try. Well, I'm sure somebody out there could, but he just said, don't even try.
Nice.
Fucking Chad, mate. Whoever you are, you're a legend, mate. You're a fucking legend. Like he's done 2.75 million on his own at the minute. So yeah, that's a pretty considerable amount of money, even if you are a hex shark or whatever. Like that's considerable.
Especially in a bear, in the middle of the bear, you know.
Yeah,
and I mean, and I was gonna say, like, meme coiners are gonna meme. Hexicans can meme coin. Meme coiners can get into hex. So I know, you know, you probably had some hate. Like I see, you know, comments on videos and Twitter. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, from hex maximalists, I will call them. You know, that it's still my favorite coin. It's my favorite ecosystem. But I also think, like, a little diversity, or actually a lot of diversity in your portfolio, as you know, we see Dylan join here. As Buck can attest to, he always says it's the only free lunch basically in crypto / maybe investing. It's something that you can do yourself, and maybe, you know, that is the speculation part of, you know, your portfolio, whether it be a wonderful PP coin or an actual DEX, or, you know, if you want to go play. I'm always going to say Hex, PulseChain, PulseX. I have a lot of favorites, but if you want to dabble in something like that, why not? So
I think you have to, especially when you get past a certain point, you've got to diversify a little bit, right? You don't want to be all in one thing, because if that one thing fails, then you're fucked. But if you've got a lot of, you know, a nice spread of, you can be like 90% in on Hex or something, but at least if you've got like the 10%, 15% in various other things as well, it's not a bad idea, man. Certainly past a certain point. So yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah, and
it's really good.
I do see this comment from Pete Swag. RH would disagree. Yeah, I mean, I guess he would, because he's the founder of his token and or ecosystem, but he also pretty much launched a blockchain. So a lot of coins and a lot of in quotes business is coming to said blockchain. So without those coins, the blockchain's not going to do really all that well. So you want a lot of stuff happening on that, on a, you know, your own DEX. We have you know, like I said, 9-inch here. As we're, you know, I know we got you for a limited time, Hexy, but how much time is left in the 9-inch?
So it's literally 24 hours and about 5 minutes. That's okay. How long's left. So yeah, so this time tomorrow basically it's going to be over, and as soon as the totals are done and the audits come back squeaky clean, we should be getting a first report of that in a couple of days. As soon as that's all done, we'll be launching Ethereum and PulseChain. So yeah, I'm really excited, man. I'm really excited. I think there is a huge gap for something like this, and more inclusion. And I think we're going to have a ton of DEXs. We're probably going to have like upwards of 10, 20 DEXs on PulseChain. But there's nothing with you know, the PulseX type tokenomics on Ethereum either, not to my knowledge anyway. So even the Ethereum side of what we're doing here is probably going to be really, really good. And I think we're going to get a lot of people.
I'm actually more excited about the Ethereum side than I am the PulseChain side for now.
Me too. I think the yield over there is going to be substantially higher because there's going to be less participants, at least at the beginning. And I think, you know, if we have farms for things like, let's say Pepe or Shiba Inu or whatever else, it's going to draw people to the platform. And then in the top right-hand corner of the screen is, have you checked your PulseChain airdrop yet? So a lot of people quickly switch networks. Oh shit, I've got a few grand in here that I didn't know about. And then they're in then, and then they're going to trade, and they're going to see that it's a penny for a transaction. I fucking love using PulseChain, man. Like 1 penny a transaction. It's so beautiful. It's just, and then I go and do the same thing on Ethereum. It's like $16 to swap. Shit, bro.
Smacked in the face.
How do you like that, bitch?
Yeah. It's not good, man. But yeah, I think a lot of people, it is going to bring a lot of that crowd over. So I'm excited about that. But I'm just bullish on the whole thing. I think the Ethereum side for the yield is going to kill it. And as a result of this, actually, interesting fact, a shitload of PP has been sent to this SAC address as well. And I mean, so no expectations, but something tells me that that's probably not going to see market ever again. So that's quite bullish for PP. I think if you exclude the PA, you're probably talking like almost 50% of the supply, excluding the PAs now, in that address. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And PP's mooning as well. Like Hexy Bastard ecosystem's killing it right now. So I'm pretty happy.
The Hexy Bastard ecosystem. Yeah.
Who would have thought you would have gotten here, bro? Who would have thought?
Look at us. Look at us. Like the Paul Rudd Hot Wings or Hot Ones meme is Hexy Bastard, man. I remember streaming with you last time before even PP, man. So that was success. And now the deck. So good for you. Got some questions for you while we got them real quick. CNS, when will 9-inch launch after SAC phase? So I think you just maybe briefly.
Yeah, as soon as the audit's completed and everything's silky smooth, it is ready to go. But it's just if the audit comes back with some changes that need to be done. So I won't want to put a time on it because it depends. But it will be pretty soon. I would say pretty soon.
Yeah. And Mango Junkie proudly says his best performer is his PP. So good for you, Mango Junkie. DJ Dougie, do I have to sacrifice from both chains to get my airdrop on the 2 chains?
Nope. Any sacrifice from either Binance, Ethereum, or PulseChain, you get airdropped on both chains.
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain.
PulseX, I remember the stream. I was actually just about a year ago, probably a little slightly less than a year ago, and I think I was getting eaten by mosquitoes and such, and there was a thunderstorm coming, so I had to move inside, and then the PP memes and jokes just wrote themselves. Good Feeder and Hexy and some others that were on the show. Dan Smith.
That was hilarious, man. The fucking reaction from you guys went, because that's where I announced that we were going to do it, and I wasn't sure what kind of a reaction we were going to get, and you guys were just dying, and it was at that moment I knew that this is gonna be a winner because these guys are dying about it, and it was just glorious. So yeah.
And then we ran the SAC, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna go big on this. I'm doing $350. This is the first time I ever threw money at a what's it called, meme coin. Like, this one's gonna do something.
And Bright Lights 57. I'm so bullish on all these dexes and projects because I'm bullish on PulseChain peeps. That is the mindset that I think is
absolutely
the best one to have. I mean, we want all the coins, all the cool playground equipment pieces on the grand playground that is PulseChain. So yes, the first PP stream was hilarious. Tobler Roos, yes, 6.9 inch, LOL. Anything else, man, before we get in, I guess, to more broader topics? But I
mean, honestly, that I'm just blown away. I just don't understand life anymore. It's just mental. But if anyone is on the fence, then you've got one day to make your mind up. So no pressure or anything. But 24 hours from now, the SAC phase is over. So join the Telegram and ask questions and stuff in there. It's t.me/dex 9-inch. Go on in there, and they're doing voice chats in there all the time. There's fucking loads of people in there now, and I just think this thing's going to explode. So not financial advice, but I'm incredibly bullish on it, and obviously I'm going to be because I'm one of the founders. But as this idea has developed and we've grown it, it's just gotten so big, and I'm just really fucking excited. I'm just super excited, and I'm glad you guys like it as well. And it feels like almost everyone I speak to about it really likes the idea. So there's a few maxi haters and whatever, but I don't care about those guys, whatever. But yeah, man. Feel free to move on from my big 9 inches now. If you want.
We can't move on.
BBC.
That's right.
Oh, actually, if you don't mind, let me just. There's one day left. We're doing a competition for the BBC logo. We haven't actually got a logo for it yet, and we're doing a competition. Yeah. You can win $10,000 if you create the winning logo.
Not PP or 9-inch or whatever.
No, USDC. Yeah. US stablecoin on.
So legit fiat in quotes.
Yeah. So 10 grand up for grabs, guys. We've had a few good ones. I'm not gonna lie though, nothing's really blown me away yet, apart from one. You know that meme of the the black guy is kind of sat on the end of the bed.
We all know the meme, sir.
Yeah. Someone sent in his face, just his face, and that's the one where I'm like, oh my god, that's me. I really love that. But other than that, I haven't seen one, so it's really up for grabs and 10 grand available. You just have to email it to gm@9inch.io. Email your submissions through. 10 grand up for grabs, and that closes tomorrow. So, yeah.
I'd like to see the cartoon face of the PH ecosystem guy on that body. That
Wait, I think that's already been done.
It has been done
for that. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
No, I haven't seen that. So.
Oh god,
yeah.
Only the best ideas here on Happy Hour.
I love it, man.
I missed it, man. I missed it.
Buck, do we have you, man? Because I see a couple of Bucks.
I should be.
Okay, yeah, we got you.
I should be here. Hey guys, how you going?
Doing great.
Very good, sir. How are
What's
you?
going on, man? How was the spaces there? And you have some news to announce before we get into everything that I believe just launched maybe 30 minutes ago. What's up?
Yeah, we're doing well. We've just started what I think will be a quick late stage SAC for Pulse and PulseX for PHAME.io, which is our leverage trading platform. So basically, this will be a maximum 10-day SAC that just looks to raise PulseX primarily for TDL for the protocols. So we've obviously launched PHUX a week ago, and we're gonna continue to airdrop that to various people. But this will be TDL for that, for Phiat, for PHAME.io. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy week. I think we're all pretty busy these days, all of us, aren't we?
Yeah, Buck, should we sacrifice from the same wallet that we sacrificed for Famous and Phiat for this? Would it be
Oh, good
beneficial?
question.
There is a loyalty bonus, so yes, it's a good idea to do that. The terms are in the sheet. You have 48 hours to get the best rate. But yeah, you can sacrifice up to the amount that you sacrificed with your prior wallet, and get an extra 5% on top for doing that. So yeah, that's how that works.
Cool.
Nice. And Dylan, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, sir. I'm enjoying the cloudy weather once again today. So
Cloudy weather. Well, I'm a little bit south of you, so it's turned out to be a pretty nice day over here. So
yeah, it's a little humid, but I'll take it.
Well, yeah, that's kind of usually the case. I'm waiting for like the neighbor sprinkler to turn on at the place I'm staying at to like just come right through the screen door. But other than that, I'm all right.
Right,
I'm surrounded. But yeah, man. So Buck, I guess back to you for a quick question. Where was I going with that? So you also, I mean, if anyone doesn't know, and that's not me, by the way. So I don't know where that is.
Oh,
but,
that's me. Oh, shit.
But for PHUX, which I would call, since you're the most humble man in crypto, a mild success, and wink, wink, nod.
I'm the second most humble after Richard.
That's right. Sorry. I think it's actually done outstanding in its short life so far. You completed one airdrop, I believe it was like a week ago tonight. Actually, it was because I was on stream with Coffee, and he kind of checked out on stream as that news of that sack went on, and I had to like repeat questions and stuff like that because he was like running to, well, not running, but at his computer, I think, or phone or whatever, trying to get in on it. But so that, can you explain last week's, I guess, the first airdrop, because as I understand it, you're going to be doing multiple airdrops. So one, can you explain, I guess, that first one, and two, what we could possibly see coming up with maybe the next one. I heard a rumor that if you sacked for a project or two, it may or may not be Bank X. You might get an airdrop. But
We're giving it all to the Bank X guys because that's what everybody's doing lately. That's the fashion. So yeah, the first sack is or sorry, the first airdrop is over. So if you didn't claim it by now, it's too late, and we'll be clawing back all those tokens that weren't claimed, and that gives us stuff to give in subsequent rounds, which is pretty good. We gave it out to people in eFiat. We gave it out to people that were not that were kind of net buyers, and we also gave it out to people that had Pulse and PulseX in their wallet who had sacrificed in sums greater than $1,000, but not to people who moved it, which was how the boys calculated it, because they didn't have a full data set with dollar amounts. So that meant that a few people missed out, which meant I got a bunch of angry Jeets saying, "Where's my airdrop?" So
people angry really about free things.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. I've never seen people so pissed off for me trying to give them something for free. It's like, not only that, it's like I've we're doing this multiple times, right? So like we can fix it, that type of thing.
And you're trying to make good on it, from what I understand. Yeah.
Well, exactly. And it's like I've had so many people going like, "Well, you really owe me this thing now. You better fix this." It's like, I'm like literally trying to give this thing to you because I'm a nice guy, because I want you guys to come use it, because like I believe that with this thing, it's one of those things where if we don't get the proper groundswell, then it's pretty useless, right? So that's been my strategy. Kind of subsequent airdrops are going to address three groups. Effectively, those who have backed me is one group. They're probably the bigger beneficiary. The second group will probably be those people who use the protocol in some regard, right? And then the third group, which is going to be a smaller group, is people that we strategically airdrop to kind of get the word out and evangelize. So I've basically asked people to go bug founders of major projects to provide me with one, their blessing, but two, a list of let's say their sacrifice set, or if they don't have a sacrifice set, maybe they're stakers or something like that. And we're going to be giving away, basically up to 25% of the protocol's tokens this way through a series of rounds. It might be 10 rounds. I don't know exactly how long it'll take us. We're sort of doing it tactically. And I've received a number of lists from different teams. I don't want to, I won't say yet because I don't want to do it till it's final. We're going to be airdropping a number of third-party teams that have nothing to do with anything that we're doing. I'm still waiting on a sacrifice list from Hexy Bastard over here, so that I can get the 9-inch and 4-plug guys.
Let me ask you a quick question, Book. So, are you doing it for sacrifices, not current holders?
Well, I want it to be easy. And I want to not have to deal with Jeets yelling at me. So that's because
I've been like tossing this up in my head because I've got plans for doing some airdrops and stuff in the future. But like what I found with Poor Pleb is a lot of guys sacrificed and then just sold it like immediately, so they're not in the system anymore. So giving them free money is not the best because it's just. I can get you a holders lister for sure, or the sack list.
That's it. That's even better because if it comes from you, then I get to blame you when they. So that's exactly right. So I kind of want to put the onus on the founder to kind of provide it to me, because then I can go, okay, great. If you wanna not reward the people that dumped on you. That's completely understandable to me. But it's not for those third-party ones, it might not be a huge amount anyway. So like I'm less worried about it. But in general, I agree with that strategy. It's a good strategy.
Cool. I'm going to message my dev now and get that for you.
Hello, dev. It's not the same dev on Twitter, is it?
Yeah, you can send me the Poor Pleb one. You can send me the Poor Pleb one now. I guess you probably want to wait till the other one's finished. But and get your mate Kino to send me. Did Pulse Doge do the OG Pulse Doge? Did they do a sacrifice?
No, they didn't do
okay. Well, if he wants to send me some sort of thing there, let me I'll entertain it. Because basically, I want this thing to basically crowd out, some sort of external third party weird exchange that, could come along. I've talked with you about this before, Hexy Bastard. Basically, I feel like PulseX has a weakness in the sense that it doesn't have a stable swap pool. Now that V3 hasn't is available publicly, somebody could show up with a V3 DEX or something like that and kind of threaten PulseX. So this is sort of a blocking tactic that I have that I think ultimately will help protect it, is to sort of do the biggest stablecoin pool and give it away to the community for free so that they're not tempted to go to some weird third party to get it.
The best defense is oftentimes a good offense. And if you don't build it, someone else will, right? So why not have someone that's familiar with the community and, is building trust, or in my opinion, has built, immense trust. Why not do that instead of some rando coming off the street and be like, oh my goodness, well, look at over here. Look at our GMX fork that is going to last for hours before we rug it.
That was interesting, right? To watch.
So yeah, could you talk about that? Just abomination real quick, because that was just awful to watch. I saw it on Twitter and I was like, oh my gosh, I can only imagine like the hate tweets that you could be getting to be like, well, these guys beat you to market, and it's like something nobody has ever heard of. Yeah,
it was really satisfying because I was tipped off about this thing about maybe 5 days before they launched, and I immediately had my guys look at it, and we knew that there were problems, just with 5 seconds of looking, and but I was in a tough position because I would sound like I have an axe to grind if I started bashing them, and I would also probably get people more excited about it. But I went in their Telegram. I said hello. I said, look, we're already doing this. Maybe you guys want to try forking, DOPX or something like that, which will, would be useful that we're not doing. And they, kind of started attacking me the way scammers usually do. and their Telegram was full of kind of really scammy things, like 2,000 fake users that I've never heard of, and not a single person that is well known in the the
It's like in your contacts or anything already.
Yeah. And having said that, they were pretty familiar with who I was, immediately.
You know what, Buck? I think this might have been from the next top Jeet that we had when ePhiat launched. I think this might have came from that, possibly.
They could have been. So basically, we had we had about a week's notice, but then they kind of snap launched one morning, and we knew that there were admin keys in there. We knew that there were that their Oracle was not even close to what needs to be in order to actually function properly, which means we could kill the project or their protocol with a flash loan attack very easily, and that they put effectively no money into their LP pool. I think they had like 18 grand in it, which is a joke, right? So all of their emphasis was really on just pumping this token.
So rug for a used car.
Yeah. So it's just it's a useful protocol done incorrectly, bolted onto a pump and dump rug. Basically, was what it was. And so I got a lot of people taunting me. One of them is a famous meme coin guy that likes to promote meme coins. Was talking shit to me in one of my private chats, and I had a lot of worry warts coming. But I knew what was going to happen here, and I had debates with my team about should we just attack them, right? Because we could tell this thing's a rug, but what would how would the community feel about that if we tried to white hat this? It might cause us more grief than they might get, spiteful and attack us. So we were kind of having that debate. Basically in the builders Telegram, somebody asked me about it. And I said, look, I encourage you guys to go look at it, but I don't want to be public about it. So Alex took 2 minutes, found the admin keys, tweeted about it, and they rugged immediately. Literally while I was at lunch with my development team, talking about what we can do to attack them if we think we have to. right? So fortunately we didn't have to do anything. Yeah, it was a spectacular rug. It was beautiful. I mean, I'm not
the most spectacular of rugs.
Yeah,
that sounds like a documentary that could come, to a streaming platform near you. The most spectacular
but like it was
rugs.
beautiful. It was beautiful. It was like one of these Oriental carpet rug shops. Like it was just beautiful. The way they did it. It was so obviously a rug. It was so greedy and done in such a quick, haphazard fashion. And all the worst people the worst people in the community, by now you know who they are. They were all around this, like flies on shit, right? And so it was just very obvious that that's what this was. And what's beautiful about it was over quickly. And this is, I think, an example of Richard's sort of wrong in a sense about we should all just ignore them. Like it is actually pretty useful. It only took a vague tweet from Alex, basically saying, "Aha, I've got you. Here's the admin key." They didn't even have to say their name, and they fucking knew the jig was up and they rugged, and it was just a matter of hours. That could have the highest of rugs. That could have gone on for days and days and days. So it was actually really beautiful. But I think they're going to do a reload. Scam
they're going to make good on it.
They already blamed it on one of the devs, and then they said, "Oh, guys, we're gonna relaunch. One of the devs rugged us. We're actually trying to do something legit here. Blah 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 blah.
Classic,
et cetera, et cetera." Yeah. So don't fall for it again.
Never underestimate what people will rug for. Someone did it on PulseChain a few weeks ago for $34. They rugged something.
How much?
$34. People,
okay.
Honestly, this
So
is
like a
what
tank
I
of
keep
gas
saying
for
as
the
well
used
about
car.
PulseChain.
Sure, that pays for my rent for the week.
They must have needed their
my familia, my
Apple
village. But this is what happens on Binance all the time, and I think we're going to see a lot of this on PulseChain because you can literally start a coin on PulseChain for less than $1, maybe 50 cents or even less actually. You just need some liquidity to put in, and a lot of people, they're there watching the live new pairs on Dex Screener. I've done this myself, so I know what it's like. You see one come up, it's a name you like, you go and stick $20 in it or something like that, and then literally as soon as you put your $20 in, it just goes to zero because it's just bots creating these things all day, every day. So there's going to be a lot of that. That's why it's good. Shout out to KG for setting up that Builders Guild thing because it's really good that we've all got a platform to discuss these things with each other. Rather than it being because we've all got to work together on PulseChain. This is why Binance was so successful because a lot of their projects were teaming up, not necessarily teaming up, but they were all in communication with each other. And this is really important, and this is why I think PulseChain is going to do so well because we've got such a strong core of builders and developers and stuff working on it. So I think it's going to be great, and we can. It's just funny. I remember watching the conversation in Builders Guild when you guys were talking about it. I didn't even really know what it was, to be honest, and I just read it, and then at some point someone was like, "Oh yeah, they've just rugged it," a minute after the tweet or something. It's so funny, man.
It was a very short crypto documentary.
But in that short period of time, I personally and along with Buck, we got a lot of shit.
I could only imagine.
They were not letting up. They were like, how could you let this happen? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, does FAME exist yet? Oh, well, this exists. And then it's like, dude, are you really going to put your money in this? Are you really going to put your liquidity on the line for this? Really? And obviously, they wouldn't answer that question.
Yes.
But that's I'm hedged.
What I'm most curious
though.
about. Yeah.
And it's like, come on, dude. Really? And then 6 hours later, it rugs.
Yeah. I mean, if you're all mad about it, then did you put your money in it? And, show us. And if you did, after the fact, sorry for your loss. Or not so sorry.
Rip.
So, yeah. Well, man.
With
Randy,
that, boys.
go ahead.
Sorry, mate. I'm just going to say I'm going to have to go because I've got people waiting for me in town. I need to go see them. We're doing this little event thing tomorrow for the end of SAC, and a few of them turned up today. So I need to go and see my people before all the bars shut early and stuff like that. So thanks for having me, Cabana. Shout out all you guys. It's always a pleasure coming on here. I really enjoy it. And I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.
Yes, sir. Later, amigo.
Later, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.
I just while you guys were chit chatting, I just got my a little bit extra into the FAME SAC. I'm one of the original sackers though, so I just had to put down a little bit more.
Very well taken care of, Randy.
Just
that's for
for
sure.
Posterity, looking back on in future years, be like, I did them both.
Yeah, I did both.
So, how are you doing, Randy? So, I know you, I guess, recently completed, a crypto course, and you've been pretty busy. I mean, obviously,
About 2 hours ago we completed.
yeah. So, I mean, you've been busy with that. I know, 9-inch. I haven't gotten your opinions on a lot of things. Just like to get your take, because I've heard, I guess, some roundabout and or on this show some opinions. I mean, we just start with, I could just call it this God whale fail mess with the BankX kind of thing. What's your take on this? Because I don't think I've heard your take on it. Was it a fat finger? Was it
no? It's a way for him to get liquidity, to get some value out of the tokens that he can't sell all at one time. You think about it. You try to sell 800 million HEX or whatever he would just destroy the market, and he'd only get out with like a quarter of what he had hoped to get, or maybe even less than that. I don't know. So that was a smart play on his part. Now he punted it off to BankX, and now it's your problem, bitches.
Pretty much.
Find yourself some liquidity. Good luck.
And remember, I want to remind everybody that was less than 2 days of the AA lobby.
Yeah, because after the first
million.
Yeah, after the first day it was $1 billion. It was 500 million a day for the next 359, something like that. So, yeah.
So it's actually not that much. I wouldn't mind seeing HEX have a little bit more liquidity.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
Well, any other takes on this Godwill thing? I mean, Buck, I guess maybe we talked a few weeks. Any perspective on this, Big K? I mean, like, I haven't checked the wallet recently, probably within the past 48 hours. I take it the 826 million is still there. What do you have, as your thoughts on the latest? Anyone? Big K.
It's there. I mean, I think he sold like 10, 20 million coins or something like that right out the gate, but that was it. So like,
yeah, it was like 10 mil, and then the 826 is, I guess, if it's still there, or that total amount is still there. I mean, we've absorbed like
I'm not tracking it by the day or anything like that.
Yeah,
but you get that axe that sits over your head, which is cool.
Super pretty much as soon as the market found out that that money was moved, and then everyone's like, "This is a red flag. Oh no, they're selling now." Then they stopped selling. So, but we had a pretty at length discussion on Twitter Spaces, like the day that this happened, and it just so happened to be that Richard had posted on Twitter that the market has decided that eHEX is not worth as much as PHEX. He said that on Twitter, and then 6 hours later, Godwill sacks to this sacrifice. And they immediately take and move 20 million coins and sell 10 million of the eHEX, right? And then they stopped because I would assume the community is like, that's what we did basically. It was like, yo, what the hell is going on? Why are you selling these coins, man? Like, what the fuck? And in, I guess, retaliation for that, or to kind of de-risk, people started selling a lot of their eHEX. So it was kind of a compound effect on what Richard had said on Twitter, and then Godwill kind of ruined their sack, because now Godwill owns 80% of this protocol, right?
Yep.
So it could have been either Godwill's an idiot, or Godwill, did this intentionally to stop this scam from getting any more money, or just basically ruining their sack, and then also kind of like putting a lid on what eHEX can do for the time being, just because these guys aren't very reliable. In the sense of, are they going to hold it? Are they going to dump it?
Some track record that has been, put to light recently.
Yeah. And it just so happened that their protocol that they had launched, the BankX thing on BNB, it actually got exploited that day too.
Like hours before, right?
Hours before, yes. So I believe that they didn't even have any oracles or time-weighted averages or anything like that. So a flash loan attack basically inflated like 2 million of their stablecoin gold thing, and they drained the liquidity pool. So, but so
Motley and Wester, good to see your comments, sir. Yes, fat finger is a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, along with there are plenty of theories out there, but Dylan just outlined a couple more. Good to see you, mate. Come on, we miss you, Motley. I miss you. Come to Big K misses you so much that he just hit his microphone.
Yeah, come on, roll around in the mud with us. Come on.
Yeah, just audio. That's
Yeah.
Miss you, bro. All right. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I've heard pretty much any and every theory that can go which way, and obviously the coins are still there. Anybody who has the address can look it up, and and people are like, okay, well, the next thing is like, how can it be resolved? Like, or another thing, was it a test from Godwell? And Funding Jim, I see the comment from Tripod. He was able to speak with the Bank X guy, and they weren't able to dump it all. It's like, well, nobody's gonna offer you market rate. That's just a silly and stupid thing that'll never ever happen. So you're stuck with this 800 million stack, and over to you now, as I think somebody said earlier. So
just close down Bank X and do a staking ladder with the 800 million X.
Right. I mean, there's tons of things that can be done. So
I mean, they can extract they make I think 5.5 million hex a week. I'm sorry, a month.
But if they did that, then people would just get out of eHEX, be like, okay, I mean, once their stakes are done, they'd move it over to PHEX, and maybe that would be, the end of it, as so many want to believe for eHEX. I say a group, wink, wink, nod, nod, you know who you are, who are trying to will this to happen, eHEX dies. Maybe the intentions and motives, who knows? That's why I'm just asking for, all sorts of different theories, things like that. And I know Funding Jim has been on. I think he's been in contact. I mean, Alex was, going to write possibly a smart contract that could, get liquidity, moved, or the hex over to safer hands at a discounted rate. But who knows what'll happen? But it's just an interesting thing. Crypto never sleeps, and never a dull day. Big K, man, haven't heard you talk that much. How are you doing over there?
I'm doing all right. There's been lots of rousing discussion going on around me that I've just felt like
taking it
in. It's
once again, I do notice that chair over to the side of you.
Highest of stakes.
The highest of stakes. It says on it right there. Well, any breaking news, or are we close? Are we soon? What's going on with that?
I don't do announcements of announcements. So
you do not.
No.
You never have. Yeah.
I do announcements of rumors. Something might be coming. I just got a feeling, man.
I feel good about it all too, but I don't know anything yet. So when I do, you guys will know. I'm gonna tell you guys here first, when I do know. Okay. But I don't.
Okay. All right. So if I can
but I do know they were doing some stuff. If you do know, I can tell you this.
Oh.
What I can give you is that they had been working on some finishing pieces, as the movie was, somewhere along the lines of what's going to happen with this PulseChain thing, and now it's more like, here we have a product, so like, that there's, they had asked for some community footage of the launch. They had, so I do know there's some.
And the latest one was PulseChain SAC video streams, something like that.
So they have some new things that are that I probably haven't seen yet. So I don't know, but I imagine that it's not going to just end at this moment with what's going to happen with PulseChain. We're pretty clear on what that is. So if
I don't say if
4 more weeks,
if when this launches, do you think it will be kind of like a stealth thing to be like, oh my gosh, Richard just posted on Twitter that the documentary is out, find it here, or could it be more exciting and community driven, like an event to where there could be like some hype around it? You know, people can like, you know, get excited, maybe a lead up of like, I don't know, a month or a few weeks. You think it's going to be like a snap thing, or you think it's going to be like a build?
I like excitement.
Okay.
I like
So some anticipation.
I like
perhaps is a good term. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions that we can get you know, to extract some info from Big K? Please post or ask them here in the panel. Mrs. K, bring him some more wine before we ask him these questions. Thank you. Refill that glass. Let's get to some questions real quick. I've been starting these. As always, guys, this chat's always outstanding. So please ask your questions. I know Buck probably highlights some of the ones that I won't, just to, you know, throw you down on the mat and punch you in the face. But I will post the questions here. You have a fan in Nikki B. Buck, any chance of making future PHUX airdrop claim phases longer than just 1 week? Love you, mean it. Love you long time. Nikki B.
Love you long time.
It's possible, but I don't know why I would do it, because what I want to do is basically kind of keep people incentivized to like pay attention to what we're doing with PHUX. So this is kind of part of like my my strategy. I could give it to you all at once, but then you'd fucking dump it, and then, you know. So yeah, it is about making you love me a long time. So I want this to be a repeat engagement, Nikki B, where, you know, we go out on a date every Saturday for like the next few months and fall in love with each other and make sweet LP fees together. That's
sweet LP.
Sweet LP.
Yeah. And if you don't give me the attention I want, then I'm just gonna, you know, pull that back, and I'm gonna give it to somebody else who gives me the attention that I want. So yeah, it's a bit like that. So yeah, I'm kind of like a hot little thing in that regard.
Thank you for all the analogies and you were there. It was wonderful. Hex 647. Can we still claim as a PLS or PulseX sacrifice? No, that ended right today. Yeah.
It's over. You're screwed. You missed it. Wait for the next,
a couple hours ago.
Round. Yeah, you gotta wait for the next round. We'll do a Twitter Spaces. I don't know exactly how many days, but as soon as Dev2 finishes the list, you know, there's going to be there's a pretty good chance you're all going to be eligible somewhere. So just keep an eye out for that, guys. And I do put a fun little mechanism in it as well, where every time someone claims, it pushes down the value of everybody else's sacrifice, or sorry, everybody else's airdrop. So for every like 1,000 claims, for example, it's halved. Your what you can claim is halved. So that's a thing there as well to stop people like Nikki B showing up a month later saying, "Hey,
you want your text messages to be on notification mode, man. You want
that's exactly right. Yeah.
You don't want to ignore this lady.
I don't like being ignored.
Turn that shit up.
I'm like that crazy ex-girlfriend that needs really high maintenance. So far it's working though. I mean, like we've got over 13 million in TVL, which is comparable to PulseX V2. You know, we've got some very good whales and, you know, users behind us, obviously, to do that. Only about 1 million of that was contributed by the team. So that's 12 million in LP coming from basically third parties. So and we're not doing any kind of wash trading or anything like that to juice these things, right? It's not our style. So I'm actually really pleased with what I'm seeing with that. And, you know, the valuation, you know, has steadily crept up the past week from, you know, 0. Some people have done very well already with it. Yeah, we're going to keep airdropping it strategically, tactically to the right people. And I think ultimately this thing's really useful because it's going to really help PulseChain. Yeah, thanks for bringing it up. because this thing's unlike probably most dexes that you're familiar with if you haven't used it yet, in the sense that we can put 8 tokens in a single pool, which we're oddly enough the community that's like perfect for this because we now have copies of everything. We now have an RH Maxi pool where you can basically trade Wrapped Pulse, PulseX, PHEX, Wrapped Hex, Inc. I think it was Randy saying he would like some more liquidity in Hex. Well, that's exactly what we're trying to do with that, because I agree completely with you. We've already got a 1.3 million in there. I suspect that will go up a lot. Another coin ecosystem of coins we're trying to do that with is the Hedron stuff, right? We like Hedron, but it's all very liquid, right? So we can put all the Alex coins in a single pool. And what's really nice about that is then those coins turn into an LP token, which you can actually trade and buy. So, rather than having to go buy 10 Richard coins now, you can just go to the RH Maxi pool and just swap it for Richard, which is the name of that token. And you have instant exposure to everything that Richard's done in those kind of different weights. Maximus Perps is another one. I really like them, but they're also super illiquid, partially because they have so many different perps, right? So now we just put them all together. So we have 500,000 in there. So I think as that grows, that'll become a lot more easy to kind of push your weight around. You might prefer to, go with 10-year hex over 7-year hex. So you can buy Deci and sell Lucky. It gives you sort of this sort of bond yield curve style thing. But yeah, you guys can do whatever you want in terms of the ratios, and you can create pools of your own. Those are just ones that we've supported. This protocol we really love because it's like our other protocols. It pays fees to the kind of token holders, and the way that happens is you provide LP via the second pool there, the Prime PHUX pool, which is an 80-20 PHUX, 20% Pulse pool. And that gets you the ability to lock that up and earn a thing called VE PHUX, which gets basically the other half of the platform fees that the LP providers don't get, right? So if you compare that, VE PHUX to Inc., for example, Inc., as far as I'm aware, doesn't collect any fees, doesn't really do anything. It just inflates. Prime PHUX doesn't inflate. The token's finite, and it collects half the fees. So in general, if we get a lot of volume on this platform, then that token has fundamental value, basically just coming from the fees that the platform generates. So that's I think a big improvement. I think I don't know if you noticed, Dylan, but Richard tweeted again during our Twitter space about auto routing being enabled. So that's 4 weeks in a row that we've had a Richard tweet during a Twitter space that Dylan and I did, which is interesting. But yeah, so we're really excited about PHUX. And the best thing I didn't even talk about is the stable swap thing, which is basically you can trade stable coins for about 5 basis points versus 29 on kind of V2 style dexes. And this saves you a lot of money in fees. And that's sort of the best obvious use case. We knew V2 wouldn't have that. So people have put $5.4 million into that already, which is really impressive. So those pools also earn you LP, and those pools will also earn you PHUX token. 50% of it is being distributed to the LP providers. So that's if you want to get a position for free and you've got a bunch of and earn some fees, and you've got a bunch of Richard Hart coins sitting around, you might want to do it here. So I'm like Bernie Sanders going around asking everybody for their LP. The good news is when you provide LP, you get to take it back whatever you want. So,
Hey, Bug, if I go into the RH Maxi and I only supply PLS and PLSX, is that okay, or do you have to supply all 5?
Yeah, so
you can,
depending on depending on how big your size is compared to the pool, what'll basically happen is it'll split your PLS up into the various coins by selling your PLS. So if for instance, if you're in a very small pool and you come in with half of the half of the value is you coming in to that pool's net, that pool's worth, you'll incur a shitload of slippage, okay? Because you're selling, and getting into these illiquid pockets of the pool. So, if it's a fairly liquid pool and you're coming in with, like if it's the 10,000 or the $1.3 million in the RH Max pool, right? And you come in with, like 5K, you're not going to eat very much slippage, maybe like 10 basis points or something like that, 20 basis points, nothing crazy, right? But, if you're coming in with size, you're going to want to, get the coins at the weights that they need to be before you go into the pool. So, keep that in mind. And it'll tell you before you enter it in, you're going to incur a lot of slippage by doing this. It'll like warn you. It's nice and highlighted in red when you do that.
So Dylan's done a really terrible job of selling the protocol there. So basically, to answer your question, yes, it's totally fine to put one in. When you do, you're exposed to all things, right? But yes, if you are putting in a large amount relative to the size of the pool, you probably want to put everything in proportionately, and it'll help you do that so that you don't incur the slippage. But yes, incurring massive amounts of slippage is not the reason to the way I would sell it, Dylan, to people.
I just
he has a tendency to do that. You don't have to incur any slippage if you do it properly, which is you put it in proportionately. And if the pool's enormous and you're only putting a small amount in, it'll have very little impact. But the point is, when you're providing LP, you're now exposed to the entire basket of tokens there, right? So that's actually a very good thing. So that's like instant diversification, right? So if you're a guy with a bunch of ink, more ink than you know what to do with, then you can chuck it in there, and now you've got exposure to the other coins. And a lot of people have a tendency to say, well, I don't like this coin, so I don't want to be in that pool, right? That's actually probably a dumb way to look at it, because the whole point of this is to get broad exposure to things that you don't already have, right? So in a way, it's a diversification play. One of the best things you can do in investments is save yourself by diversifying. If you don't like wrapped hex right now, or eHEX, let's say, that I can understand that, but you could also argue that eHEX probably could outperform PHEX over the medium term, right? Just because it's, obviously had all this terrible shit happen to it. It wouldn't surprise me if it actually outperforms, at various different parts of the cycle. And then you're going to be left wondering, well, why didn't I have some of that, right? And the point is that these tokens tend to have pretty similar, pretty strong correlation with one another in these pools that we've set up. So richer coins over the medium to long term, I think, are all going to move in the same direction. So your impermanent loss should be pretty small, I think, with most of those richer hard coins.
That was on my question list. Could you just touch on real quick? Because, people, I guess, are familiar with 50-50 pools, but there are certain ratios, perhaps chosen specifically for a lot of these. Could you touch on the impermanent loss and why this could be beneficial for those worried about that?
Yeah, so you're free to choose and create pools you like with whatever ratios you like. So, but with the pools that I've created here, I've kind of looked at what I think is actually liquid and floating in the market. So there's way more, let's say, Pulse out there than Ink token, right? So when you're diversifying, you kind of want to into an index, let's say for a Richard Hart index, you kind of want to do this based on what's representative of the kind of the market caps of all these things. So Pulse is sort of the biggest position, with kind of the two hexes, right behind that, and PulseX behind that, and Ink's a lot smaller. So that's sort of why I did the weightings as such. But there's no reason that you don't have to do that you have to do it that way. Depending on what you're trying to accomplish, you might want to, let's say you're launching a coin, you might want to do 80% for your new coin. So if you're launching a meme coin, and then you can do 20% Pulse, right? It's a big benefit to those guys that are launching things, because on V2 style decks, you literally have to put up half and half. right? So let's say you're airdropping something, for free to people. The way they oftentimes reward you with that is they just suck up all your liquidity by selling, right? And they just dump on you. So in this case, you can have a much more effective launch doing like an 80-20 or a 90-10. So it's a bit nuanced, but I think with what we've got with the fourth coins anyway, this is like a unique platform that's actually uniquely good for PulseChain. And that's a kind of a lucky accident in a way, because I didn't when Dev2 said to me he wanted to do this, we didn't appreciate that the bridge would be permissionless, and that literally every token that we want to bridge over can come over, right? We assumed that would be the case for the Richard coins, but we didn't realize it was going to be for everything. I'm pretty happy living on PulseChain now, right? So I quite like being able to push to buy these wrapped over things on PulseChain, and I think these pools will kind of help hopefully make a lot of these things continue to have a life, after mainnet. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, me too. It's pretty cool. I mean, I've enjoyed playing around with it. Now, the benefits, I think, though, to like staying to not altering the ratios of some of these pools that you've already created. I mean, I could see the ones like the reason to change if you wanted to add different coins, but like for the ones that you've set up is because of the incentives there are to make PHUX token from locking up these in the liquidity pools. Is that correct? Like, I mean, because of the voting from VE-PHUX or VE-PHUX.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the short term, I made a lot of these just sort of as demonstrations, and but like I'm very committed to letting users really decide what pools they want to support. Some of them are quite obvious, though, right? Like the stablecoin pool, for example. And I call it bridge stable pool because I want you to know that there's bridge risk in those coins, right? And when Liquid Loans and Power City come up with theirs, I'll have an Oracle stable pool, right? Where it's like, okay, there's Oracle risk here, yeah. And then I'll have a pool that's like all risk. But some of these things are very obvious in terms of their composition. In terms of the weights, it's debatable, but a lot of it was a guess. So like for Maximus, it seems to be pretty hard to get base because I don't think there's a lot of it lying around. Whereas there's a lot more maxi, right? So that's why the weights are higher for that. But when base sort of resets in October, we might just create a new pool because the supply of base might be much larger at that point. So it's really up to the community to decide, and then they vote on which pools receive the emission rewards. This thing's all about the community here. Like we're giving it away for a reason. We want it to be useful, and we don't think you should have to pay massive slippage. Ideally, and I guess the other thing I'm trying to do here is, Richard doesn't like promoting third-party coins. That's his policy, which I respect. So I'm pretty happy to create platforms that shine a light on things in the community, especially people that I think are doing good work. And I can name names to say what I mean there, like Alex from Hedron or the Maximus guys, or the Power City guys, or the Liquid Loan guys. Like I want to shine a light on them and be the guy that says, we're all obviously all here for Richard stuff too, but where there's useful, good things being made in the community, we want to help. And I think this is actually a much better place to launch your token than PulseX, especially if you're not Mr. Moneybags. You know what I mean? Like it's the ability to change the ratio is very useful for somebody trying to get started.
There you go. Speaking of Mr. Moneybags, Pimpster Moneybags, Pimpster Dog Johnny asks, Thanks for the cheaper stablecoin swap. Richard's Dex is a ripoff. Oh wait, that was the other one. What was he saying?
I like that. I like that comment.
Yeah,
That's a
but
good comment.
it was a good comment. I figured you liked that, but that's why I saved it. But
I want to also say about that, like it's he's right, but it's not Richard's fault. That's just a limitation of V2.
Correct.
Or, you know, so and that's why we did it. Like
there it is.
If yeah. So
yeah, what's the most the gentleman will actually accept during the sacrifice phase? Pimpster Godwale Dog Johnny asks. He would like to just knock out the PHAME second sack right now.
Yeah, so we're at about $1 million now, which means I can pull the plug on it whenever I feel like it. I'm pretty comfortable with 6-figure amounts, guys. You know, if you want to send me a 7-figure amount, maybe DM me first. Would be my preference. I don't want to if I get into some sort of BankX style thing. I already have a clause. I had this there before that happened because I anticipated it. But if somebody sends me some absurd, you know, Rackham-esque amount of PulseX, I'll just send it back to them. So yeah, I would like this to be distributed, you know, pretty well, you know, and but yeah, unless you're north of 7 figures, that's not a problem.
So you send it back to the Saudis. Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm very happy with kind of, you know, 6-figure sums from the Saudis and even a low 7-digit figure. But yeah, probably not more than that, guys.
Yeah. Quick question from Lee. Any reason why we don't see a pool with wrapped ETH? I think you've touched on this before earlier.
Because you haven't made it yet.
Yeah.
That's right. Go make it, Lee. You could be the owner of the pool, and when you're the owner of the pool, you get to choose the fee, which is pretty cool. You can pick a name, you know, so you could call it Lee's ETH pool. It's probably a pretty shitty name, but you know, you can.
Actually, I think that'd be cool. After you just said that out loud, I think that'd be a great name for a pool.
Yeah.
Just because it was born on this show. Yeah.
You know, the name of the pool could be Cabana. Gives me that feeling I used to get when I climbed the rope in gym class in elementary school. That could be the name of the pool. You know, I don't know.
Hello, ladies. Anyway,
you guys get to use your creativity.
Jay asks, what's the difference between a PulseX liquidity pool and a 50/50 PHUX liquidity pool?
Nothing. It's the same.
Well, our pools pay fees.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so there is a little bit of a difference, right? So
come back, Dylan. Come back. You know, Buck was about to jump on you there. Good save. Let's see. Rocking 911. When you buy the RH Maxi coin, do you get the right percentage of each coin? Right percentage, is that in reference to the weights that we have?
Yeah, so you can think of your exposure is roughly to the index. So it's like investing in a fund. When you buy units in a fund, you know, mutual fund or whatever, you don't get one position. That's the whole point of it. You get all the positions. So it's a lot easier than having to go buy 30 stocks or thousands of bonds, right? So with this, you buy a Richard coin or Alex coin, and you've suddenly got all those coins in those weights, and you're earning LP fees at the same time. So there's yield on top of that, depending on the trading volume. And then some of the pools get voted on in the VE-PHUX tab to basically earn the emissions rewards as well. And that vote happens every week. So basically, if you think about it, it's like this is a free token where rather than doing a sacrifice with it, the people that basically provide LP are going to basically end up owning it, right? 50%, and 25% is going to go to the to people that we strategically airdrop to, right? And that's just the mechanism for this. So far it seems to be working really well. Like I'm really happy about it as an outcome. It's actually I'm a famous optimist in this community. obviously, and this has actually outdone my expectations in this regard.
And I do want to say that Randy is now part of the RH Maxi pool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Got the official endorsement, which means you now have. If you haven't locked it up, then you should have some Richard coin.
Oh, I already got some.
And you can take a Richard coin and you can make a portfolio with an Alex coin, and you can make a portfolio, and then you've got another coin. So like that's actually quite handy. So people will do that stuff. There's going to be a Cabana coin probably and a Krakowski coin. And a Hilarski coin.
Damn, I'm earning PHUX token like crazy, man. This is great.
Yeah, there you go.
The lowest of rugs coin.
Yeah. One day we'll have an RMP 500. A Richard and Pulse. The S&P 500 for the PulseChain ecosystem, guys. One day we'll have that.
Blue Bum asks, do swaps route across pools? The answer is yes. When you do a swap, it'll show you the different pools that it goes through. So that's not a feature that devs needed to create. It's been there since day one. So and
it's not linear either. It does multi pools. It does it. It routes through a bunch of different pools at the same time. It doesn't do one pool to one pool and then you're out, right? Like PulseX. So just throwing that out there.
Hey guys, I'd hate to go, but we have dinner here at 6:30, and I gotta go, shower and do all the shit.
Shower for dinner? What?
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate all you guys. Hey, I did a course all day. I've been working all day. It's like my neck hurts.
He's sweating it up over there, man.
This labor is crazy. All right, guys.
We'll come back
everybody
next week, Randy.
I'll have Buck
on,
and Dylan on my show on Wednesday.
Okay, there you go.
See you Wednesday, sir.
All right, cheers. Bye, Big K.
Hey, bro.
Later, brother.
Bye.
Later.
And then there was 4.
There we go.
Well, this has been a fun conversation. I'm enjoying. I was enjoying talking to the pools. It's a super necessary piece of the puzzle. That I'm excited to see everybody playing with as well. I think it's.
Yeah, I mean, if it's available on other blockchains, like somebody will eventually build it on PulseChain. So, why not?
If it's good, yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
And the nice thing about this thing is, I think it's better on PulseChain than it is on Ethereum, right? Because you can basically all afford to LP. You don't have to be a big boy, right? So everybody can kind of learn how this works. Everybody can use it. The gas fees don't, prevent you from creating your own pools. It's a pretty big investment to go create a pool on Uniswap on Ethereum right now.
Yeah.
And it can cost you hundreds of dollars to add and subtract LP, right? Which, basically means 90%, probably more, 95% of people have no business really getting involved in LP, which sucks, but even if you were really small now, you can get involved in LP just by buying the token, right? With a normal swap as well. So that's pretty good.
I think I made a pool the other day, and it cost me about 700 Pulse. So that's literally like nothing.
In U.S. terms, what's that, like 6 cents or something?
That's way less than that.
I think it's a penny and a half.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And I mean, that's great, right? So anybody can
pretty kick ass.
Nothing.
Do that. Yeah.
It's pretty kick ass. I mean, in general, having the ability to play with things with such low fees is fantastic right now. It definitely lowers the bar for people to be able to onboard. I mean, before it was you had to be very careful about everything you do, especially when you're doing LP things in Ethereum. You have to have a plan. Here you can kind of fucks around,
It fucks. Steve-O asks, so if I want the RH Maxi pool, I can just buy the RH Maxi token. Sorry, noob here.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could just buy the token, or you could add liquidity, add one or several of those coins to the pool.
Yeah, I just want to make sure he's not talking about adding liquidity. So if you want the pool, like you would optimally you would add to all the parts of the pool, but you could versus buying the token. Sorry, Buck. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you nailed it. You're exactly right, buddy. You can just go buy the token rather than having to go fuck around adding LP to each of them. So that's really nice. Right now, those tokens aren't super liquid, but they will become more liquid over time as more people add to it. But yeah, what you can do is in reverse is you can basically go buy the token, and then when you decide you don't want to be in the pool anymore, you can remove liquidity and sell the ones you don't want exposure to. Which might be a lot easier than actually going. It's actually a really annoying discipline to have to go buy a whole bunch of different tokens. If you can just go do it in one go, like awesome. Like if I want a staking ladder now, like I can just go buy that maxi pool token, right? And I've got an instant staking ladder with one buy, right? I don't have to fuck around with hex.com anymore. Does hex.com work on PulseChain now, or do we?
Actually, let me look. I'm not sure that it does.
I haven't seen anything that it actually does yet, so I doubt.
I'm an ICOSA pro guy,
same.
But you could basically get like a predefined staking ladder just buying that token once we get enough of it in circulation, which is arguably I think a lot better than having to go stake it a lot, right? It's basically you've got like a hex portfolio now with one buy. You know what I mean? So to me, it's essential to get those maxi perps into a position where that pool is deep enough so that people can basically buy it all at once, because then it's a way better product, right? And then when they launch all their new ones where they've got a million new perps coming, they can create pools as well, package them together, and basically put them up for sale there, and and you can alter the weights or make the duration closer to the short end or the long end or the middle, whatever you prefer. So like, I actually think this is just something that's really well suited for what we're trying to do. And maybe a little bit complex at first for some people, but you can already see the whales are figuring it out, and they're bringing their money in size to this thing because they realize it's actually very, very useful. And for all of us that have big bags of stuff on Ethereum still, wrap it over and chuck it and create pools with it here. Give that stuff a second life here, because it's probably not doing much on Ethereum right now.
True story.
Truth. Let's see. Just trying to make sure. I thought I had one more question here. Peg, can Buck or Dylan discuss the 2.5x rewards for liquidity mining with PHUX?
Yeah. So this one is a little complex. There's a pretty long equation that, if you want, there is a link in the PHUX chat to the balancer or GitLab or Gitbook or whatever. But essentially, it takes into account how much liquidity there is in the pool that you're providing in, and then how much is your liquidity, and then it takes into account how much PHUX that you have, and then how long you're staking it. And it's kind of like a parabola sort of thing where essentially bigger pays better and longer pays better, roughly. Okay, but it depends on a couple of factors. Okay, so if you want the equation, I'll post the Gitbook in the chat, and you can actually try and figure it out yourself. But it's not as black and white as, oh, if you do this, then this is going to happen. It's pretty dynamic. So.
There you goes. Let's see. I think we got pretty much through all the questions. We're going on close to 90 minutes here. We touched on highest of stakes. We touched on Godwhale shenanigans, the whole 9-inch PHUX famous ecosystems. Any other topics you guys would like to bring up before we jump out? Big K, haven't talked to you much except for ribbing you with the highest of stakes, man. But what else is going on in the world over there?
What else is going on? I mean, my daughter was in soccer camp.
All of the streamers' kids are in the soccers, man.
Yeah,
So,
you know,
Randy,
putting some soccer camp. I'm gonna do some vacationing. You know, seeing some family. I don't know. But, I mean, summer. It's hot. It's hot right now. You know,
it's hot down there.
I heard it's like a million degrees in Puerto Rico. Like I know Puerto Rico's always kind of hot and spicy.
Dude, these kids
you're dodging hurricanes and tropical storms.
Yeah, you got some hurricanes coming too, man.
This soccer camp was like it's like a real Real Madrid soccer camp, you know, but like so like good coaches and stuff, but like they're kids, you know, and like this soccer camp was 6 fucking hours long in the middle of what is like the hot ass sun. It was, I mean,
I'm thinking that could be bullish for hex price though, if enough hex whales expire like because of like heart attacks from the heat. That could be super deflationary to supply.
I had my car right there. As soon as it got hot, as soon as I got too hot, I was chilling in the air conditioning. I can't imagine it. Like the kids, I would like give them all some credit, man. That is insanity. I was like, yeah, y'all do 6-hour practices, talking to the coaches, and they're like, nope, never. I was like, this is a lot for kids. They're like, yeah, it is. I'm like, oh, God. So yeah, it's hot out here, and I know it. I spent the last 5 days basically outside. So
Motley sends his love, by the way.
Yeah, well, he's sitting inside his AC.
Yeah. Go stand on a soccer field and watch your 6-year-old fucking cook in the sun for 6 hours a day, 30 hours of pain for the past week. Anyways, yeah. So I'm looking forward to vacationing up further north, and we're going to visit my wife's family up far north Canada. So.
Far North Canada.
Cool
I thought you were going to say north, like as in the Sunshine State, because I was going to be like, come on up, bro.
No. Like,
you're taking it to extremes.
We're going to where the trees grow so thick that like I can't even understand how the animals crawl through. It's insanity. It's in the middle of nowhere. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Other than that, staying close, keeping my alerts on fucking extra loud for Buck right now.
There you go, good man.
You know, just enjoying all of the playground of stuff slowly coming out on Pulse.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a PHAME or not PHAME, but just a PHUX airdrop, so Big K can start looking down and just be totally like a zombie for the rest of the stream, like Coffee was last week.
I mean,
shout out Coffee, man. I love it. That was quite exciting though, because the spaces just happened to go on the same time as happy hour, and I'm just like, people are posting updates in this chat, and of course I'm like trying to like listen with one ear and do the show. So we both had our hands full. It was a fun evening. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I love free coins. I am.
You do. You've said it more than once.
I don't think anybody doesn't like free coins, guys.
As a god turtle,
I don't like free coins.
I love free coins.
I mean, that's just because you have to. You're the one giving them out.
Yeah.
No, even before I didn't like them. I like buying something good cheap. That's what I like doing. That's what turns me on. If I just get it for free, I feel like I didn't do anything.
Do you feel icky or something?
I mean, fair enough.
Well, I want to work for it. Do you feel bit, you know what I mean?
Big K? I don't feel icky.
I don't at all feel icky. I'm fine. I mean, I like it, especially when I know about it and not many other people know about it. Those are cool ones.
Well, that's true. That's good. And that's kind of the way I designed these airdrops, was sort of to kind of sneak up on people, and then I get a lot of like glee when they show up late to the airdrop thing, because I know they've already been punished significantly by the math that we put in, right? And especially when they're really annoying and rude, and they say, "Sir, where's my airdrop? Give me airdrop."
Well, I think
I'm sure please. I want my airdrop now.
I'm sure there's a graph somewhere that shows the like, yes, the longer that you wait, the more idiot that shows up. So yeah. It's a good system. It's a fine system.
Yeah. And then they fuck off, and then you airdrop again, and then they show up a week later, late again, and you go, there you
Oh yeah,
go.
oh yeah. That's like they've got an alarm on being 2 days late. It's great.
And you were eligible for this much, but it's now worth, it's now been, ratioed down to 90% less. So yeah, I quite like that dynamic. Rewards the right people.
That I can fully support. So I think the series of, and most of them haven't even happened yet. It has gone great with just a little bit so far, and I like your thinking in it because it seems like there is a long-term plan in mind with serious thoughts and allocation, perhaps may or may not be, to those not in the United States, of course. Only those two outside of the U.S. So
banned. Americans are banned. No Americans.
Yeah, bad.
There are no Americans in this chat.
Bad Americans.
Yeah. Gigi the Clown doesn't like bad Americans or Americans just in general, really. But,
Evil.
Yeah.
I'm really excited though. I want to say, guys, about PulseChain, what's coming, because I reckon, what we're building and what everybody else is building, like a lot of this stuff's really good stuff, but you just can't use it on Ethereum. And then where you can use it, there's no community, right? You know what I mean? Like so, like I think Arbitrum is cool, right? But like, it doesn't really have as much of a community as if it were its own independent L1, and definitely they're not as crazy as we are, right? So so like we have the ability to bring that community of crazy people with money, and all this really good stuff that was built for Ethereum that no one can use on Ethereum anymore, right? It's actually like a huge advantage, and I'm just like thinking a few months down the line what that's going to look like when Liquid Loans and Power City and Mintra and everybody else gets here, and obviously our stuff as well. So it should be pretty good. Oh, Modelo.
Very nice.
That's a good Mexican beer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ooh, Mountain Dew. There you go. That's also.
Dylan's more of a Bud Light guy.
Fuck you. No, not you dick. Fucking bug.
Yeah, Modelo has replaced Bud Light here as the #1 brand, I think, in the U.S. So
that's what I heard too.
You get what you get, Bud Light. You did that on yourself. Self-rug.
Yes.
So they self-rugged. Yeah.
Very much so.
I think that's great. I think Mexico has a really bright future. Honestly, it's going to be the new China for America. And I have to say, the Mexicans, man, they work hard. They like Christmas. They're fun. Like I reckon. I'm thinking that's a really good long-term investment down there. What do you think, Big K?
I like that. Those are like 3 amazing qualifiers right there. I fucking love Christmas too. I'm always in need of hard workers. I mean, yeah, that's great. That's amazing.
What was the thing that Trump made? The USMCA or something like that, right? The United States, Canada, Mexico thing or whatever.
Yeah, there's like a new NAFTA kind of thing.
Yeah.
NAFTA V2.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of our options in this next election. I'm really hoping we get to see this RFK Jr. guy on the Democrat side. That would be.
I think that's hilarious. A huge wild card. I do.
Yeah, I mean, I know they'll try hard to cancel him. Like if you Google the guy, you can't find anything about him other than that he's terrible.
I've never been so excited about not having my right to vote in the presidential election.
It's funny.
It's fucking awesome.
Fair point.
Huge fan of my situation.
I was gonna say I need to look into that situation. That sounds like a really good situation that you have.
Yeah. I think if the same guy gets reelected, like everyone in even probably I would say a vast amount of people in that party would call bullshit on it. There's no way. First of all, he's got to get through a primary through RFK, who I think can beat him. But if not, like after the debacle of the past 3 or so years, 2.5, whatever you want to call it.
Well, what about the debacle this week? I mean, his son. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
I bet.
but let's bury the
You can't
submarine.
even. I mean, yeah,
Like-
let's talk
like
about a
the
submarine.
headline-
Let's just ignore this story. Like, imagine if that was Don Jr. That one. Oof.
Yeah, but the
That would be,
Navy, that report that came out last night is insane, and somebody actually leaked it from the Navy. Which I'm no Navy expert. Maybe Motley might know a guy, but for that alert to pick up for the implosion of that Titanic sub or whatever, and then for it not to be released until yesterday when inconvenient headlines were released politically. It's like, can nobody else see what's going on here?
It's a little sus. Yeah.
It's a little too cute. I remember there was this comedian Paula Poundstone back in the 90s. Maybe
Yes,
you guys
I
remember
do.
her? Yeah. So do you know what happened to her?
No.
She just decided to plead guilty to child abuse on September 11th.
What the fuck?
So September 11th happened. She's like, "Yep, guilty," and you never heard from her again, right?
Oh my
And
god!
so like nobody like ever heard about it, right? Because we were all focused on that for the next year.
What were you sending pictures of there?
I was just silencing the phone. It was ringing. I hit the silence button, and sometimes when you hit the silence button, you also happen to take a screenshot. It wasn't
Getting your last
wasn't
9-inch stack in. All right. Well, that about wrap us up, gents. Thank you for another amazing chat, you guys. I'm going to call out our wonderful chat, in the first place. But Randy, Hexy Bastard, of course, Buck, as always, Dylan, and my man Big K over here. Tell us where we can find yous, good sirs. We'll go clockwise, Big K.
You can find me here. You can find me on Twitter and Telegram at Big Kirkowski. You can find me in the highest of stakes eventually someday. We will know more later.
Perhaps with some excitement.
Perhaps with some excitement. Maybe some fanfare.
That's a reasonable, hopeful thing without expectation.
And that's it. And you can find me behind the sticks here, punching buttons, making sure to keep my alerts on high alert for all the fun stuff coming up on PulseChain.
And I see you strategically block the highest of stakes chair, which I commend you on.
There's another chair.
There you go.
Another chair that I moved out of the way.
All right, so not intentional. Okay.
Not intentional. I wasn't.
Crypto Gains Club 369 just mentions is there a new trailer that's going to be on the tour? Yeah,
there is a new trailer that they put with the tour. I haven't. I haven't even seen it yet. So.
Disclaimer. All right.
I haven't watched it yet.
Gotcha. Buck, Sir Buck, you got a lot going on. Care to summarize really quick? In a one-sheeter, what's going on, perhaps in the immediate future, and where people can find more about it if they would like. Yeah,
so we're going to be launching Phiat and PHAME kind of over the next month or so. That's kind of the main thing. Dylan and I are going to be out promoting PHUX as well, doing Twitter Spaces for airdrops, giving away shit for free to the community, please bring your LP over to PHUX if you're doing nothing with it. If you want to have some more exposure to probably the only leverage trading platform that'll be running on successfully running on PulseChain anytime soon. You can check out PHAME.io where we're doing a sacrifice for the next 10 days. The best rate is for the next 48 hours. It gets a little bit worse each day after that. So just keep an eye out for that, guys. And check us out on fatty.io as well. We've got a lot of stuff going on, don't we, Dylan? What are we forgetting, Dylan?
We got Phiat is on the Ethereum chain already, right? So you guys can go check that out and prepare yourself for when it comes out on PulseChain. Buck just mentioned PHUX. We're about
to be clear, the Phiat tokens are there, but the protocol or platform launch is still coming.
Correct. Yeah.
To be fully clear, we say Phiat famous and fatty, but we draw the line at PHUX.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
we believe in free speech. I try to call it PHUX, but when I'm around my friends, I might call it something else.
All right.
Yeah. In
All
public.
We're good boys in public, guys. Come
I
on.
mean,
Yeah.
it has.
Come on.
When I'm explaining to my wife and friends what I'm doing with my time at the moment, I'm like, I'm just trying to get some fucks over here. You know, I get it that it doesn't sound
Mrs. K, I am just trying to get some fucks, please.
It doesn't sound exactly as businessy as I want it to roll off the tongue. So
Yeah,
I
say
hear where you're
PHUX,
coming
man.
from.
It sounds like
Yeah.
you're sophisticated.
PHUX sounds like an exchange, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It sounds very reasonable.
I think
Yes.
PHUX
I like
sounds
what
very reasonable. Yeah.
All right.
There's
I
one
get it,
guy
I
who's
get
one of
it.
the biggest sacrificers, and he was telling me his wife saw him looking up this thing called PHUX, and and she was just horrified. She's like, "You're not investing in that." And he's like, "No, I'm getting it."
No,
for
I
free.
actually get that for free. It's crazy.
There goes all of our money, honey. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
All my money went to fucks.
yeah.
It's awesome.
Was that? I'm sorry, Dylan. Is
Well,
there
if you
anything
can't,
else?
all your money can't even go to fucks if you want to. It's like,
This
I
is
mean,
true.
it's tight.
Who's going to
It's
say
tight
no
get-
to a free PHUX? I mean, really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Big
I mean,
K
a lot
loves
people-
free fucks.
And the
They-
huge fan, and then I hang out with them and lock them up for long times, and and then vote in the only way that I know meaningfully to do so
There you go.
for liquidity rewards.
I
Beautiful thing, man.
think we've exhausted all of our fucks for one night. So
But yeah, PHUX is literally coming up on the V2 version of PulseX in terms of liquidity. I think we're about $300,000 apart, which is impressive, man. That's we're at 13.2 million TVL on PHUX, and then there's 13.5 million on PulseX V2, which is pretty sweet, man.
Pretty good.
in 1 week.
Yeah, in 1 week.
that's
So
wild.
that's-
In a bear.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful, right? That's beautiful. And the sacrifice, the late stage sacrifice for Famous, it just crossed $1 million over on the stream just while we were talking. And we started a Twitter space about
2 hours ago, less than.
So, yeah, that's doing
So
well
you're
too.
more than halfway to the cap, maybe.
That is a buck question, sir.
Perhaps.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's a mystery.
Perhaps he would not want to speculate. But
Yes.
The
That
cap
was
could be hit at any point. So
it could already be hit. It could be hit
No,
as soon
if
as we go off the air.
If it were hit, I would be saying it's closed. It hasn't been hit yet. There's still
There you go.
there's still a little bit of time, guys. But yeah, I'm not intending to stick around for too long here. I'm very happy to get this over with ASAP.
Nice.
So yeah, let's see how the next 48 hours goes.
Yep. So, keep an eye out for the next airdrop that we do. I think maybe that'll happen in the next week or so, right? If I'm not mistaken, Buck.
Yes, and I'm not going to
probably
speculate,
sooner.
but I might.
Probably
if you
sooner.
sack-
Okay,
If
there you go.
if you sacked for Bank X, you may or may not.
You
Be a
may
part of
not
this.
get an airdrop. Okay.
May or may not get part of the airdrop. But yeah.
So yes, keep an eye out for that, guys. I'm sure we'll have a Twitter space when we do that airdrop. So just join the Telegrams. That one right there. Just join that Telegram. If you have any questions, ask away. I will have a video out today for the PHUX stuff, so you guys can stop bugging me about it. And but yeah, that's it. You know where to find us. You guys know
There you
this
go.
stuff already. So
Yeah, I'm hoping it is for Bank X because I'll be on a boat next week, and I did not stack for Bank X, so I hope that it's that's the time for
Yeah,
that one.
the Bank X guys better get used to life-changing money coming.
One way or another, it will be life changing.
Yeah. I will not be airdropping BankX. Just I'll make that clear.
Just so we're clear.
Oh, come on.
If-
I was just wanted to have it out there.
If you stack for BankX, you're fucked. I'm not giving you anything.
I mean, it would basically all go to Godwell anyways, so like that might not be a bad thing, you know.
I might actually ban every address that's sacked for BankX.
Oh, rip Godwell
From earning for like regardless, just no airdrops for them. That is something I can do. I can do mean, spiteful things if I feel like it.
Yes.
So
Buck likes being an
that's a
asshole,
good-
so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Buck is so humble. He is yeah.
Second best person in crypto.
That's right. Second best. He's being humble and just saying that right there. So yeah. All right, Jess. Well, with that said, I think I briefly mentioned it, but I will be on a boat next week, so no show next week. One of my
Enjoy
very
some.
rare weeks off. Yes, thank you very much. Looking forward to it. But yeah, cue up the Lonely Island. I'm on a boat soundtrack next Friday evening. When you think of your friendly happy hour show, and I will pray that the BankX people do get that airdrop, even though it doesn't sound like they will. But
Cool.
yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to 2 weeks from now. I think we'll be kind of in the same area, not necessarily the same location, but we'll do another show. And thank you, Benny Blanco, and everybody else in chat, as always. Big K, Hexy Bastard, Randy Hilarski, Dylan and Buck. As always, you guys are just outstanding. Great conversation. And we will see everybody in a couple weeks on this show. Thank you, everybody.
Take it easy.
See you.